All right, we're live.
We are live
And we're back.
with We're Not Famous.
Another episode of the We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis podcast.
What episode are we, Sam?
35.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay. Who was our 34th? Come on.
Outlaw.
Thank
Greg
you.
Outlaw.
Greg Outlaw. Beautiful. Well, it's been some time since we've
I wonder if this will come out. This will come out before I turn 35. I turned 35 in 10 days.
How do you feel about turning 35?
Feel fantastic.
That's great.
Don't feel a day over 25.
That's a great feeling.
Is it?
I don't know. You
I
just
don't know
said
if I've
it.
matured much since I was 25. I still feel like a 25-year-old.
You see, basing off your behaviors and
Basing it
mindset?
off, no, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel like I've slowed down physically.
So what does that mean? How's that connected to a 25-year-old? There's some 25-year-olds that are not active at all. They don't have an active lifestyle.
I was a very active 25-year-old. I've worked out every day since I was, 12 years old.
Wow,
that's an exaggeration, not every day,
sure.
but consistently 5 times a week since that age.
That's pretty impressive.
I know you're no different.
I don't know if I can't speak on that.
You're at the gym every day, Jay.
I try.
You don't miss it. You don't miss a day.
I would say I have a active lifestyle. I don't know if I haven't missed a day since the age of 12, but I would say that I'm pretty consistent with being active.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever had like a time in my life where I ever got out of shape. Like that's been a pretty constant of my entire life. I've been in shape my entire life.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
There's been times where I've taken it, during the fight training. I think I took it to another level that I wasn't used to, like having your heart rate and getting raised for more extended period of time than I'm used to. And when I was competing, when I was in my teens, I was definitely training more. But yeah, it's been pretty constant. I think that's how you stay young, right? You keep exercising.
That's one way. I do believe that. That's one way to stay in shape or stay young.
Well, how else would you stay young?
I believe it's connected to what you put in your body.
How you eat, your diet.
I think it's connected to
Women.
That could be a ingredient.
Women can keep you young, huh? She gets you feeling young again.
I think
you're creeping into
more than just keep you young. I'm more attracted to a woman that provides me with peace, because every day I'm at war. I'm in the arena of business. So if I'm already, when I wake up, I'm in war mode, and I come back home to a household that I'm in war with the woman, it won't work out for me, because I'm a warrior. So every day
Do you go through a lot of wars in your business?
Oh man.
What is like an example of a war you go through?
Negotiation of increasing our price points within a proposal each year within the realm of government contracts. They always say, hey, would you like to keep the same price point or hourly rate for 2026, the year of 2026? And they will go back and forth with you. And based off your past performance within your services that you rendered in 2025, that will predicate if they deem you as a business that can increase their prices. And we go up on our prices every single year.
You raise them every
single year.
So you're negotiating with them to.
So that's one war.
Yeah,
I'll give you another war. Closing new clients.
Yeah.
Because you have to get past the lack of trust and credibility, even if you have years of experience.
Sure.
They never heard of your company before.
Sure.
So now you're selling what? Your benefits of using your services over the next competitor or their current vendor. That's war. Another war. Being able to sell a business development leader who you want on your team that they want an opportunity to change their lives.
So the hiring process.
It's war. Because you're dealing with humans that lack self-belief. It's not really belief in your company. I'm learning that more and more. It's not about your company. It's more about, do I believe I can change my life? Right? Because it's about you. We're selling how we can change your life at our corporation. So if you don't believe that our services or products can change your life, you're not going to join the team. And that's typically starts with what? Financial increase. So there's a war.
If you don't believe you can make money selling your services.
Selling our think about it. That's why it starts with you first.
Right.
If you don't believe you can change your life financially through selling our services and products, then guess what? You're not going to join the team. It doesn't matter what we say, do. You can read Yelp. You can read the positive reviews, right? Customer reviews and things of that nature. It doesn't matter.
People might be confused. What is it you do? Like, what is the business that you own and run? You're running for a few years now, right?
Yeah, running for a few years. Well, this is a whole different. If we're going to get into, we can talk about it.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, we provide so AGC pretty much is a service provider. We focus on 4 what we call service arenas.
Okay.
STEM really stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Our target audience is who? K through 12th graders. But we're one of the, I believe we, during the COVID-19, we introduced adults and senior citizens to learning about what? STEAM. So we had a welcome to the computer age, online classes.
Okay.
Next is educational services.
Okay.
We provide a plethora of, one of our main RPs that we win is translation services. So that means we teach youth and adults what? ESL, American Sign Language classes.
Sign language?
American Sign Language classes.
Wow.
Spanish language classes, in person, online.
Okay.
We provide sports services. What does that mean? That means in regards to as young as 5-year-olds to parent and me classes to as old as 18-year-olds. I apologize, adult classes. That can be a 6-week gymnastic class to a adult woman practical self-defense program for 6 weeks long. Lastly, we have, 4th service we provide is fitness services. Fitness services is directly connected to who? Who pays for fitness services in the world we live in today? Who will pay for a fast pass?
Regular people.
Let's go deeper.
What do you mean a fast pass?
Oh, so when you go to, remember they came out,
A class pass?
Class pass, I apologize.
Who would you think? People who are looking to take classes at a gym, like this would be regular consumers.
Let's go a little different. Based off,
anyone. I don't think it's like that narrow who they target. The class pass people, maybe lower income people who don't want to pay the whole
class
price.
Pass. Why do you think gyms in general offer class passes?
To get people in the door.
There it is. Who do you think, based off gender, is the number one?
Women.
There it is. You're a genius, man.
So I'm a genius.
You are. So with that being said, is our target audience for fitness classes are adult women and senior citizens. So we target all of our services to them. And last but not least is staffing services. That's our 5th services that we render. Mm-hmm. And we provide staffing services within 5 job industries: educational, healthcare, IT, which is information technology, logistics, and sales.
And this is all government contracts?
No, not all. We go after we go after Northrop Grumman. We go after Beauty and Aesthetic Medical Center. We provide services for senior citizen centers. We provide services for a charter school.
And what's the lead driver of revenue out of all these services you offer?
Our highest grossing service today is educational services, in person, online.
In-person online educational services?
It's not. Listen,
And not even close?
our
More than staffing?
staffing's catching it.
Okay, wow.
So we're now pouring more time and our focus on staffing in 2026. AI is coming. It's here. So now what we've learned with
Does that
AI,
mean there's going to be less staff?
there would be more need for leadership positions.
Because AI can't do. I was thinking something interesting about AI. It's like if the world's not based on hiring the smartest, most capable people. I don't think it. I think we'd like to think it is, but it's really based on connections. And oftentimes you get hired because you know the person who owns the company, or you're someone you know introduced you to them. So that's why. That's
So
why.
it's who you know. You said that. Yeah, who you know.
Yeah.
It's more important than what you do.
Yeah, so that's why it's like I don't know that AI, because AI is more smart and capable than anyone, but are they really going to take those leadership jobs that are based on human connection?
Based off the information that I know within the staffing world, I don't believe. I think what will eventually happen is we will have a director of business development, and guess what the sales reps will be? AI agents.
Really? You think that AI can close a deal?
I think in the next 24 months, it's going to be scary what can happen.
Right.
Based off what I'm hearing on land, on ground, from these huge businesses that we're going after to provide staffing support, they're just looking for leadership positions. Positions that, like you said, Sam, that emotions have to be incorporated or implemented in that decision. And that means that leader has to trust Sam to make that decision. And then all the little minions, which are our AI agents, will be able to do all the repeatable job responsibilities.
Have you used an AI agent yet?
I'm in the process. I'm in a tutorial now on how to implement it within the sales. I'm looking to implement AI. Well, we're using AI across all, I would say, departments now. I believe we've been one of the front runners of using AI within enrichment services. That's a term you hear a lot within my industry, enrichment services. I mean, enriching the lives of humans. So our job is to enrich your lives through what? Services. Like Jeff Bezos' job is to enrich your lives through what? Products. Faster.
Logistics. Yeah.
More feasible.
Sure.
Right? So that's the game we're playing. So yeah, we've implemented AI across all departments, but the next level to play is AI agents within the sales arena.
Have you seen any of these new AI agents like Claude Have you heard of this or no?
I have heard of it.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
it's pretty crazy
Yeah.
that it can now send emails from your email address. It can clean files on your computer. I was thinking about installing it, but I'm a little nervous because
Yeah.
I don't know if because it can go rogue.
Yeah.
It could think that it's helping you, but it could permanently delete important files on your computer.
Yeah.
So people are buying like separate,
You got it.
like little separate computers that the AI agent's running on. Yeah.
I can tell when one of my team members is using AI.
Can you?
This is me. I'm being very transparent. So don't get AGC team members. I pay attention because when I have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
your words convey how you think. That means your sentence structure, your responses. And so we are creatures of habit. And if you're a conscious, a present leader, you start picking up habits from your team members. So if you come with you sound like you went to Harvard, but you don't typically talk that way, and your past emails are maybe a project that you're working on, I'm like, wow, this is interesting. Even ad campaigns, we do ad campaigns. I'm like, oh, wow. But we want to see, why?
But do you get upset if your employee uses AI? Or are you like, well, this is good that they're implementing the technology? Or it can kind of be like, oh, they're so lazy. They didn't write the email themselves. They used AI. You know what I mean?
Well, once again, I love AI.
Yeah.
Because it provides you with more time because it allows you to
And intelligence.
and intelligence. You said it. Yeah, great call.
Provides you with more time and
More time and intelligence, right? So I'm like, go for it, especially with our ad campaigns. Use it.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have-
I mean, it's great at making
amazing.
digital ads,
Yeah,
right?
it's
I'm using it for our thumbnails now.
it's great, and they're improving.
But it
Sam.
is something to say about someone who doesn't use. Like I wrote you a note during this week,
Yes.
and I was very careful. I did not want to use AI because I wanted you to hear my voice.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and you know what, Sam?
Yeah.
The reason why I appreciate it so much is because that was Sam Fear.
Yes.
I know when you use. I know when Sam because I know how you think. Because how you think is how you talk. So I appreciate it. It was more for me touching because I'm like, oh wow, that came from Sam Fear. When you send me some stuff, I'm like, man, this guy's phenomenal with AI. His best friend Michael Jordan, is that the name of your AI?
I should name my AI. Yeah. Jordan GPT.
Jordan GPT.
Yeah.
No, I heard people name their AI based off whoever they have mentors, like they call them distant mentors, people they've never met,
Yeah.
but have mentored them in some facet of their lives, and they name it and it's supposed to give them, make them feel better about it.
Have you ever heard of something called the Turing test?
No.
So it was started by this, I want to say, computer scientist. He might have been a neuroscientist, Alan Turing. And what he wanted to do was it said that if a computer can pass the Turing test, would be that it would write you a note,
Okay.
and you wouldn't be able to tell if it was a computer or not. So I don't know if AI has actually passed the Turing test. Because you're telling me that you're able to tell when it's AI. Like the way it would pass the Turing test is you wouldn't know if it's coming from Alan Turing or the computer.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
At your company, has your boss ever said or questioned you about maybe an email? Hey, did you write this email or did you write,
Yeah, but it's not frowned upon using AI. In fact, it's encouraged to use AI at our company. But there are some things like AI loves putting things in bulleted notes. And people don't usually do that. And it's like there are just certain things like you need to put a little human touch in it.
Yeah.
You need to edit it, or you need to become better at prompting and say write this as a paragraph, as a narrative paragraph, as opposed to a bunch of bulleted notes. But
That's the truth,
I don't really want to say how often I use it, but it's very, very sophisticated, and you can use it in Excel now. And you can.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can infuse it into your Excel program and have it do all types of calculations, business models.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you're very proficient at using AI, so I know your company has no idea. They might think you might be a Harvard student for sure, Sam.
Well, it's more so the people I negotiate with. I think it's helping me out.
Oh,
It's
that's
helping me
even
out because
it's better.
It's so sophisticated at deal structuring too.
That's
and like those are
amazing.
things that I thought only humans could do. But no.
So, would you say within the deal, do you close more clients, you're remote, by email or in person? Via Zoom, not in person, but via Zoom or by email? What would you say? Or by phone? Let's say there's three verticals.
I think in the business I'm in, which is mergers and acquisitions, they usually want to. A lot of the clients I work with are people because you realize selling your company could take a year. Mm-hmm. It could take 2 years.
Right.
It could take 6 months.
Yeah.
If you move fast, but you realize you're going to be on calls with this person almost every day for the next few years.
Wow.
And AI can't do that yet.
I wanted to hear this.
So it's usually people that I work with. I usually have a personal relationship with,
that.
And that is important. And I don't know how AI could replace that. I mean, you might wind up getting a merger and acquisition AI, but I mean, doing a deal, there's still so much human interaction that goes that goes into it.
Right. That's what I just want to hear from because you're in the game of selling businesses, and I think you are able to sell not because of AI, because people buy into Sam Fuhrer.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Right.
clients I work with,
They like you.
because there's a lot of small talk that, that you just, the first 5 minutes of almost every call is like, did you watch the game last weekend? Or,
Oh, that's when your sales tactics.
yeah,
Connectability.
Yeah. Or are you seeing what's happening in the news today? Or like, what's the weather like where you are? Like, and that's where like, okay, I like the people I'm on. I like the people I'm talking to. This isn't a drag. Okay, let's get into the deal, which is really hard. And a lot of people are selling their babies and you're sharing sensitive information.
Yes.
So, so I think that being who you are is there's still a benefit to that. And then it's like, I'm doing something now where I'm trying to get more in-person meetings. I'm trying to get, I'm trying to do, 3 or 4 lunches a week with private equity, hedge funds.
Great idea.
Other investment banks.
Yeah.
Ideally, other people selling their business.
Okay.
And
locally,
locally, because we're in such a hub right
Got
here
it.
for the financial service industry, and I feel like that's gonna expand your career way better than knowing how to use Claude or ChatGPT.
I believe that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
And that's actually the advantage. For someone like me who's not a real technical, like, look, if I was a computer scientist, engineer, then my advantage would be, I can create this software that's going to, make your company more efficient. But no, my advantage comes from the business development side.
Got it.
And the person-to-person contact.
Right.
So, in a way, it's like I want to double down on that as the world goes more.
That's one of your superpowers, networking.
Yeah, it goes more digital, for sure.
Think about it. I mean, how we met was through you.
At the gym.
You talking, just randomly coming up, having a conversation, introducing yourself. Well, no. You didn't introduce yourself. You led with a question, which is one thing you like to do, which is your introduction.
I don't remember. Tell me, what did I say?
Hey, have you boxed before? Are you? And it led into, no, I never boxed before. You know what I'm saying? I played, sports, basketball. So, but I can see, I knew when I first met you, one of your skill sets, what I call superpowers, and I think everyone has superpowers, is networking.
That's for sure.
The confidence to speak to a human being that is completely oblivious to knowing who you are, and everyone can't do that.
That's why it's a scary world these days, because everyone hears that AI is going to take your job, or the future of work is uncertain. That I actually think it's a big opportunity for young people to invest in themselves, to get in as best shape as they possibly can, to get some clothes that they feel confident wearing, invest in your wardrobe, invest in your hair, make sure that you always look and feel your best,
right,
so that people want to be around you.
Wow.
And people want to work with you.
Hey, listen.
I say that as I'm, wearing a backwards hat.
But it's okay. No. But I think that's your spinach to make you feel as a superhero. And everyone has different. I know some sales, they just pound the phone, right? I don't listen, to each his own. I love discovery meetings.
Yeah, because it's like,
I love discovery.
If you're really in this as a career, you might be in it for the next 30 years of your life.
That's true.
And life is long, And there's people that I spoke to 5 years ago who call me up. Are you still selling businesses?
Wow. That means you left an impression on them.
Yeah, I'm ready. We spoke a few years ago. I think I'm ready now. Yeah.
That's huge. In
fact, you reminded me I got to call someone. But yeah.
They reached out to you?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, I know time is of the essence. Let's jump into some of these topics. The first one is the downfall of powerful men. We're in a very unique time.
Right.
With us seeing more powerful men being taken down by a plethora of different reasons. So I did just some research of the reasons why powerful men have been taken down. Okay. Number one is, well, let's just name some of the men, and you tell me if you're familiar or aware of this. Stephen Wynn, owner of the
Wynn hotels.
Come on,
the
Wynn.
casinos. Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. Well,
We know him very well.
I'm going to say some people deserve to be taken down, or I'm not going to.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So he was a producer and co-founder of Weinstein Company.
Yeah, the Weinstein Corporation. Yeah, big movie producing company.
Russell Simmons, co-founder of Def Jam. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, I know Russell Simmons.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. He was also Andy Dick, the actor.
I mean, he's
know you
got
like-
his own issues. He was one of the funniest guys back in the late '90s, early 2000s, Andy Dick. But I think he went down like I saw he was like asking for drugs on the street. Andy Dick.
Wow. What about Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K.
Yeah, Louis C.K.
I mean,
comedian,
he kinda
producer. I
had
know
this
you love
meteoric
comedy.
rise to selling, from being like a writer on the Colbert Show to selling out Madison Square Garden. I mean, I thought he was absolutely hilarious.
I
Had
heard-
some of the funniest
yes.
bits in the world. But
I'm not familiar with him, but I heard he's
oh, you
big.
don't know Louis C.K.?
No, I heard he's really big though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. People said he would masturbate in an elevator in front of them. That's what a lot of people came out and said. Well, that's the thing. It's like when you get no one cares about you when you're a nobody, and it's almost liberating. Like I have a friend who's like, he's rich beyond belief.
When you say rich beyond belief, does that mean?
It means his wildest dreams. I'm talking 9, maybe even 10 figures.
Wow.
And he said to me, I'm in prison. I cannot do or say anything publicly. Everything I say will be ridiculed. Because the board of the public company I'm at does not want me anything out there that could be misinterpreted. And he said it's hard. It's hard. You can't speak freely on certain things.
Does he want to?
Well, I don't think he wants to be like a public figure, but it's a different world than what it was in the 20th century.
Because I think some people want to kind of.
Well, yeah, there's people who want look, here's the thing is like I think a lot of these rich guys should be taking a stand because they're letting the bureaucrats take control. And they're letting
Bureaucrats.
the bureaucrats like
Oh, cool.
I don't know, just like people in government or people in their own company. It's almost like if you have an employee who disagrees with a stance you have, let's say on a controversial subject that were, the gender issues between, men who are born as men but identify as women. And if you say something like you're not going to treat those people sensitively or whatever, we're not going to acknowledge their pronouns. Well, there are people in the company who might boycott, take a stand and say, we don't want to work for a company that doesn't acknowledge our pronouns. And now you're at war with your employees. And they can and then their board of investors are asking the higher up executive, why are we don't like this type of attention that's coming on our company. We need to ask you to retract your statement. So now they can go against what they truly believe, and they might just get in line. And then before you know it, like, where's free speech? You're not allowed to say certain things. Like you're not going to get locked in prison, but you might lose millions or hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap. So that's why I'm like saying, like, or you could say, if you don't like it, work somewhere else. You're fired.
What would you say?
I'd like to think that's what I would say.
What?
That this is a top-down organization, and if you don't, and this is what we believe here, and you're an employee, you're gonna get in line, and if you don't like it, then there are other places to work.
You would say that. I can see you saying that. I can see you saying that. Would that guy that you're talking about, would he say something like that? Because he's in a leadership position. What do you think?
In some stuff he would, but in other stuff, it's not worth the fight for him.
So it's worth the fight for you, is what you're saying.
with well, you got to kind of pick and choose your battles. You know, it's like you're not going to win, and you get so big if you have thousands of employees, like you need your employees too.
So which one is it? So
Well, it's a complicated. It's not really a black and white issue. Yeah,
I agree with you on that. No, for sure. I think it's very black and white.
You think it is?
No. I think it's not. I apologize.
Yeah,
I think it's not black and white.
Yeah,
it's a gray area.
It's tough to navigate. It's tough to navigate the world. And then maybe you take a meeting with an employee, and let's say you close the door behind them.
Okay.
And then they're sitting in your office, and let's say it's a female employee, and she's wearing a skirt, and you look down. You don't do anything. You just look. Now she's saying he shut the door and he made me uncomfortable. And now she's kind of holding you hostage, where you might be in a position where you have to pay her to not do or she might just sue the company for sexual harassment.
How would you handle that situation?
I don't know how I'd handle that situation, but I've heard so many guys go through it, and it's terrifying. And the way that a lot of the smart executives, they film everything. If you're in a meeting with them, like Ray Dalio's company over at Bridgewater, everything is filmed. So no one can make any claims. But that's like, do you really want to work at a place where you're under surveillance 24/7?
I think in the world we live in today, it's probably needed.
It's probably needed, but I think it takes some of the like people used to meet their partners at work.
Why can't you still with the having? The
Well,
camera?
at some of these tech corporations, you're not allowed to have extended eye contact.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's like they wind up just becoming kind of like robotic places where, you're there to, perform a function, and, you keep your social life separate. And you're not, a lot of people don't even know who you are. And you're not allowed to share who you are. And I mean, with work being such a big part of your life, 10 hours a day,
For sure.
8 hours a day. Yeah. Then, I don't know. To me, it's not the most appealing thing. But I guess in a way it's needed to some extent at a big corporation.
So only at a big corporation.
I would say at a publicly traded corporation, it's more needed than a private company. Because if you're not,
You mean the cameras? Are we talking about?
Once you're taking outside money and you have institutional investors, and the owners don't have full control, where they have to even if you started the company, you're still answering to people who have written you a check, or a pension fund that's invested. They might say, well, we don't like your antics as CEO, and we have higher voting power than you. We want you out because of all these allegations that have come against you. You're not treating people right. You're making women uncomfortable. The profanity you used doesn't align with what our core beliefs. And he said, what do you mean not our core beliefs? I started the company. Well, we control the company.
Well, what if the CEO is not living or behaving by the bylaws and principles and leadership,
well, that's
standards?
well, some of this stuff is like up for interpretation. Like you have Elon Musk, who he came out, he supported Trump, he bought Twitter, and he said, we're going to get rid of all the censorship. And then all these other advertisers, everyone who was advertising on Twitter, got together and they said, okay, let's boycott Twitter. Let's stop spending advertising dollars on them. Well, thankfully he wound up suing them for I forgot what it was, some type of corporate conspiracy. But his answer when they asked him about it, Elon, what do you think about how your antics are affecting the company? He goes, if you pulled out of Twitter, I got 3 words for you.
Right.
Go fuck yourself. That's what he said. That's what he said at a World Economic Forum interview. He said, go fuck yourself.
What did you think about that comment?
I said, I think more CEOs should start saying that.
Why?
Because you shouldn't let your beliefs be censored or hindered by what your advertisers or your investors have to say.
But I think his employees had something to say also.
Well, he fired most of the employees.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I think the employees that started with Twitter before he changed it right to X
Yeah.
didn't believe in his, I guess, leadership style or business principles, his processes, his
Yeah, I mean, he
systems that
was
he
going to,
implemented.
like he said a lot. He said almost 75% of them were doing nothing. So he said, okay, we're going to get rid of them. He said, out with everything, including the kitchen sink. And he brought an actual physical sink.
Yeah.
And he just came in and he fired everyone.
Yeah, I do remember that. But I think some of them said some other things about his personality. They just didn't connect with him as a leader too.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, leadership is a very rare quality.
Yeah.
And,
It is. Yeah.
And
it's not for everyone.
He had the belief in himself that he was on the right side of certain arguments and that he could run this company with or without the people who didn't agree with him.
Yeah, I think he saw a better way of running the company,
Yeah.
more streamlined, right? He cut off the fat. And he's great at doing that,
Yeah.
minimizing,
Yeah.
so I do agree with you on that. What was the number one? What do you think is the number one reason for the downfall of men?
Well,
number
well,
one
there's internal reasons
Well,
for
just
the downfall of men.
blanket. What do you think is the most common?
Distraction.
No. Sexual conduct, and adultery. That's the number one reason for downfall of powerful men.
Okay. Well,
Inappropriate sexual behavior, including harassment, assault, and adultery. The number one reason.
yeah, I mean, we were talking about this, that like when you get to a certain level of power and prestige, it's hard to avoid allegations coming at you.
I don't know about sexual misconduct. That's something that those allegations can be false,
Yeah.
but they start somewhere. There's a reason why these allegations come from the jungle, right? Out of anywhere. I think you're either playing in the jungle or you're not.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, because I don't want to say every allegation is false, because it's obviously not. And there's a lot of guys who abuse their power,
Right.
and think they can get away with anything, or think that certain rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
Once they reach a certain level of power, and that's not right either. Obviously that's wrong. That's wrong.
I agree with you
And
on
it's like
that.
these guys haven't had access to women when they were on the come up, and now people want something from them or whatever. Yeah.
Which we talked about vaguely about this whole Epstein situation, and
Well, Epstein is kind of a different situation where, look, Jeffrey Epstein, based on the files, he had access to almost everybody, from billionaires across the country, across the world, people in government, people who worked for defense administrations, from the U.S. to Israel to, I think, Saudi Arabia. And he had access to academics,
Okay.
people like Noam Chomsky and Stephen Hawking. And then he had access to movie stars.
what does that mean? The accessibility to these people. What
Well,
does that
that he
mean?
he would go and take meetings with them.
Right, but what was his value of being able? He had to have some type of value point, right, to be able to have a meeting with.
Well, it's really interesting if you actually listen to the Epstein files on like how he would create value out of these connections. And I was listening to one interview in particular where he's talking with a guy who just retired. He was like 70 years old, and he was like the Ministry of Defense for Israel. And now you don't make a lot of money when you work for the government or the military. I mean, you make a good living, but you're not making like millions and millions of dollars, maybe $200,000-$300,000 a year. I don't know what it is. But he said to this guy, he said, well, I can get you a board position, and I could maybe get you making $2 or $3 million a year. How does that sound? And then he said to him, "Do you know who Peter Thiel is?" And this was back in 2012 or 2013. Like Peter Thiel, he's this investor. He's invested in Facebook. He started this company called Palantir. Look it up. It's called Palantir, and they do like defense surveillance or whatever. He was trying to explain what they do, and he goes, "And I think a guy like you would be a great person to be on the board of that. And how would you like to make $3 million a year doing that?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, that sounds good." So this is what he's doing. He's networking. He's making those connections. I mean,
But how did he? So I think I'm
but
lost.
how did he get everyone to want to hang out with him?
Yes.
I think because he had young girls at his island, and I think that probably attracted certain rich guys who can't go to a bar or a nightclub and just act how they want because they're such high profile people that they need to go to some mysterious billionaire's private island. And now they're hanging out with him and they think that, anything goes.
So they say what I do know. They allegedly he lured over 100 underage girls, which he was charged for trafficking. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's wrong that he was taking advantage of. Because what I like, and I'm not like an expert on this by any means, but what I do know is that he would, in the South Florida area where he was finding like girls that this is the controversial thing. I believe he thought they were 18.
Okay.
And a lot of the girls might have been 16 or 17 and saying that they were 18. Some of them were even using a fake ID. And then they were getting picked and they were getting paid, I don't know, like $600 for the weekend.
To do what?
To go on this island with him and hang out, give massages to really powerful people like Bill Clinton. People.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Almost everyone's named in the Epstein files. People like Chris Tucker is named in the Epstein files.
Yeah, I heard a lot of names now popping out for sure. So
now you have celebrities. So now you have billionaires there, billionaires and politicians
Bill
there.
Gates was there.
Yeah, and a lot of these billionaires and politicians need to wield their influence on the world. So how do they do that? Through celebrities, because celebrities have the influence. They say every rich person wants to be famous. Every rich person wants to be famous. Every famous person wants to be rich. So it's he had a way of fusing and finding mutual benefits for both of them. And then he would say, okay, I've got X, Y, and Z billionaires. I don't know, Richard Branson, Peter Thiel, or whoever coming to the island. I'm just naming names. Why don't we bring Ashton Kutcher down? Or why don't we bring Chris Tucker down? Or don't you want to meet Kevin Spacey? Or Jerry Seinfeld? I think it's like.
So why would they say he was trafficking?
Well, and then here's the thing: you had young girls there, underage girls there who were doing God knows what, giving a blowjob to someone or giving a massage with a happy ending. And I don't think everyone there was having sex with underage girls. I don't think most of them even knew that they were underage. I think it's really fascinating because it shows kind of how the world really works.
What do you mean by
that?
How the world really works?
First of all, it's so interconnected at the top, at the tippy top between powerful and influential people that they do really all know each other and they do all work together. In tandem to accomplish certain goals and objectives.
I think it's like playing a sport. If you're the best player in the NBA, you're going to be an all-star, which means you're typically going to hang out with each other because either you're training with each other or I'm competing with you.
And I'm sure they politic. Like LeBron going
politic.
like, okay, Wayne, what if I got on the Heat? We would need one more person. Then we're going to win championships.
So you're saying the same thing for the Epstein, the connection with him knowing other successful billionaires. But I'm lost on how he was able to create this this whole
How he was able
cult?
to make
Is it a
his
cult? Would you call it a cult?
Well, apparently he only had a few clients, like Lex Wexner, like the guy who started where he was money managing or running a hedge fund. I don't know exactly what he was doing, and he had like a few billionaires give him some money.
Wow.
So
Do you
that's
think they
what,
gave him money because of his other service on the side?
well,
Of
you know, he didn't even go to college. That
I don't know
he
anything
was a
about this
teacher
guy.
he was a teacher at this prestigious New York private school, and
Sam, you're very intrigued with this guy, Epstein, man. Sam, you're very.
well, a lot of people are. A lot of
okay.
people are
I'm,
intrigued with
I'm
Epstein.
not too informed about this guy, but I mean, this is this is interesting information. You know, because he's the most popular topic right now. And you say you start off as a teacher?
Yeah, yeah, in the 70s. And then I think he worked at Bear Stearns.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Bear Stearns or Lehman Brothers, one of these big investment banks.
Okay.
And then he went off on his own.
Wow.
And he was working with the likes of the guy who started Victoria's Secret,
Okay.
Lex Wexner, I think was like...
He's on that. He might be on the list too that I saw.
Oh, yeah, he's for sure on the list.
Downfall.
There's a lot of people on that list.
There's a lot of people on that list. The other thing they were saying is regards to abuse of power. This is a form. What I'm hearing, Epstein abused his power by trafficking these young women or girls underage, and he used his connection to power to lure them in, is what it sounds like. Would you agree?
I mean, to an extent, like, he was, you know, he was a guy. I don't know. I don't want to say billionaire, but let's just say billionaire because I don't know. I think his net worth at the time of his death was like $550 million. So
Oh, wow.
it's close enough.
Wow.
And well, this is the thing that no one wants to talk about is that I think it's wrong that they accepted to bring young girls for sure. But I do think that it was kind of like, oh, we got chosen to hang out on this island. You know, the richest, most powerful people in the world want us. And then they might say, well, you're only 17. Well, get a fake ID. And
who would
we're the young girls.
Yeah, but who would tell them to go get a fake ID?
Well, I think it was just, first of all, that's something kids do because they want.
But someone would have to tell you.
Well, you're saying did Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell tell them to get it? I don't know. I'm not privy to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it was. And a lot of them never like said that they were touched inappropriately or anything until like the lawyers came into the situation, and and I think they
I didn't know this.
Yeah, like
So
know,
it's
a lot
after
of them went back on their own will time after time, because like in a twisted way, you could see how it could be like women choose to be strippers every single day. Mm-hmm. And why? Well, you can make $1,400 a night as a stripper. Like,
so you're saying they made those young girls, underage girls, made the decision based off what they could earn or receive?
I think you're getting attention from the president of the United States, Bill Clinton. You're getting attention from some of the most famous people in the world, and you're getting paid to do it. You could see how that might be an appealing thing for an 18-year-old girl
Or a 16-year-old girl.
It could be an appealing, and that's absolutely wrong. But
absolutely is wrong. I mean,
look, I'm not going to stick up for that. But yeah, I think that's kind of how the organization worked. And that's how he was able to create this shady scene behind the scenes where he had access to everybody. Everybody from Bill Gates. Bill Gates was always hanging out with him, screwing Russian hookers. Stephen Hawking, like the biggest movie stars in the world, the biggest scientists in the world, the biggest businessmen in the world were hanging out with this guy. It's funny because it's like at the end of the day, like how do you get the richest, smartest people in the world? Hot girls. It's like it's a tale as old as time, right?
Well, that's why on the list, women are the number
Yeah.
of reason for it.
These men-
Next
yeah.
on the list is addiction to drugs, alcohol, or destructive behaviors. And the last one is just having the sense of entitlement, meaning like believing they are above the rules, the laws. And I think he's a great example of believing he was above the laws.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did prison time in like 2008, and then he got out.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There was another. What was the
But
other?
how could you not think you're above the law when you're hanging out with the president of the United States?
Because I think,
Who makes the laws? Like, it doesn't get much higher than that.
yeah, but if that's what your moral compass is driven by, so if you stand for something maybe spiritual, like if you're a man of God, if you're a Muslim, those type of temptations may not lead you to bad decisions. So it's all about your moral compass. What you value plays a huge role on what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these guys thought they were untouchable, and then you realize that the winds can shift.
Happens to me.
And wow, like look. But here's another thing. I don't think it's as big. I think it's fascinating because people are always going to be like intrigued by what the rich and powerful do. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's that interesting.
What's not?
With the whole Epstein thing, I think it's kind of being blown out of proportion. Like, okay, a bunch of rich people were trying to generate more wealth and influence at some island, and they were hanging out with some young girls. I don't think because there's a lot of conspiracies on the internet, which is why I want to say this. There's conspiracies. Oh, they were doing sacrifices of infants, or they were who knows what else. They were raping children, and it's like, okay,
But they're raping children, literally. These girls are under the age of 18, Sam. So they're raping children.
well,
They're
there's
not
a difference
legal.
between statutory rape.
Great call. Now that's true.
Yeah,
If you're going to use it in that
like,
context.
like to me, rape is a violent, like, is like a violent act. But this,
But we don't know if women did say no. Or not even women. Let's make sure we.
and
label
I feel strange talking about this
Yeah.
because this is like in so many legal, smarter lawyers' hands. I'm just basing this off of
your own
what I-
opinion
yeah,
and what you think about it.
what I've read on the internet.
Yeah.
That, and like the real thing that's up for debate is, like, first of all, if they're 17 years old, that's legal in almost every state other than Florida. Like, it's legal in New York. It's legal in Alabama.
Where did he get charged? What state?
He got charged in Florida, but
Thank you, Sam.
But can you?
I do know that.
But can you really like? But people, I think it's hard to label people as a pedophile if the person is 17 years old. I think that's one of these gray areas, and I'm not going to stick up for it by any means, but I'm just saying that
we've talked about this. I am, you know how I feel about young girls and the whole ideology of older men liking young girls. We've talked about
do you
that.
think it's wrong that older men like young girls?
For me,
Girls of legal age.
well, you said 17. For you, is it legal?
I'm saying that's legal in some states. I would never do something that was illegal in the state I'm in because
So if you were in the state of Alabama, would you date a 17-year-old?
I'm not answering that.
Your no answer is the answer. But let's keep going. For me, they're babies. We don't. Our mindsets, the conversation, the depth of the topics we can discuss, the life experiences, there's no attraction there for me at all. And there's
Well, let me say,
no.
17 is too young. But
Oh wow! Now you say 17.
that's too young. But I people like.
But I know you
people
like
to demonize men for liking young girls.
No. Listen,
Like,
I
it's-
know you're
what's
attracted.
wrong?
We know you're attracted
You're
to young
saying
women.
that they're not. A lot of them are smart. I think I was a smart kid when I was 20 years old.
You don't have at 17 for me. We
Oh, seven.
life
Let's
experience-
17 is too young.
eight-
Let's say 19. 19 and up.
well, two more.
Right.
I don't know if there's enough life. I don't know if you have enough life experiences. I don't. Well, let me say for me, at 19, I didn't even know who I was or who I wanted to
Okay.
become.
Okay.
So I'm just basing off me. But I know you like younger women, so it's fine. So we can move on from this topic to save yourself at the end of the day. One more topic to discuss. Daddy issues. Dating women with daddy issues.
Yeah. Have you ever dated a girl with daddy issues?
Have I?
Yeah.
So I did a little research on the reasons. Where does daddy issues stem from? So here's some of the reasons, real quick. Number one is having an absent father, not being present. Emotional distance, or a critical father, where the woman has the ideology that I'm not enough. That's why they do keep going after what? Beauty. These, was it Botox? And they're just chasing, the
You
attention.
think that stems from daddy issues?
This is based off the research.
Well,
Next, hold on, let me give you more.
Research can't exactly answer.
I'm just giving you some of the reason why they say
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting.
abuse.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Abuse, physical, verbal, and sexual abuse is a reason. And last is inconsistent parenting. You know what that means? That means unpredictable behavior from a father can lead to confusion and insecurity in adult relationships. Out of these, addiction. Number one is absent father, emotional distance, or a critical father, abuse, or inconsistent parenting. Which one do you think? Or which one have you heard or learned from your relationships with women? I can tell you mine real quick. For me, it's having an absent father, because a woman what I believe a woman learns how to treat a man from what she sees from her mother and her father. Outside of that,
I think a woman learns how to be treated by how her father treats
that's
her.
the flip side of it. But we're talking about women right now.
Yeah.
Treating us. We can talk
No,
about them
that's
in a
what
second.
I'm saying.
You
I'm
see where I'm
saying a
going?
woman learns how she should expect to be treated.
But that's them. Let's talk about manpower for a second.
Okay.
Come back with me. A woman learns how to treat their man from how they see their mother treat their father. So if their mother does not have a husband, they were born out of wedlock, or the mother has multiple men coming in the house, how can a woman learn how to treat a man if they've never seen it before? I believe we can only be what we see. And for me, that's been the number one reason, is that they never had a father, so they never knew how to treat a man, because they never seen their mother treat a man, because they weren't married. They come from a broken household. What do you think is the reason? Well, what is the reason that you would say
For
the women you've dated?
the women I've dated who have had daddy issues, which is almost every woman.
I think we all, yeah, for sure. Even men too. Men have daddy issues too. But that's another.
I think a lot of women have mommy issues too.
That's a whole. You're right. But what has been some of the reasons? If you have even asked a woman, like, has that came up?
It's something I've always kind of been fascinated by.
Okay.
I mean, I could give some specific examples, but I want to protect the people. I mean, well, let's say if the father hasn't paid much attention, if the father is like out in the world doing great things but doesn't pay much attention to his daughter, then
That's a
then the girl will always will want to feel like she's chasing his attention. And oftentimes she'll date a guy who doesn't give her that attention because she'll feel that need to chase that man's attention. So
I think that's emotional distance and inconsistent parenting.
yeah. So it's like that's been pretty common pattern I've noticed that that which is why it's like some of these, you know, pickup artist or game tactics work, where if you don't pay much attention to her, if you ignore her texts, if you don't give her the praise and attention that she wants, well, she'll start to crave it more, and maybe that comes from, you know, craving her father's attention. Yeah,
I think there's some truth to that for sure. We both, that's something that I've seen with women, and women will go crazy if they don't receive that attention from you also.
Yeah.
That causes confusion between you two because they start creating these ideals that you don't really like them because you don't text them, you don't call them 10 times a day. You know, like all these things play a huge factor of the lack of knowing how a man, or learning how a man should treat you. Because on the flip side, if a man's not consistent with communication, is not responsive, the woman shouldn't talk to him anyway because he's not present. He's not invested in the woman.
yeah. But then you hear about these guys who do everything right, who in the morning they text her good morning, they send him flowers for lunch, and then they take him out for dinner, and then the girl says, I don't know why, I'm just not attracted to him anymore.
Well, at least you're saving, you know, Sam's life by letting him know early that.
I know, but I'm saying if you do everything right, sometimes they crave that emotional disconnect.
And those to me are toxic women. I'm not a fan of those. I think we want women that want healthy.
You're probably right. Yeah.
You know, relationship. I believe in relationship routines, which I talk about all the time. And I think when you're raised in a broken household, you start to understand that relationship routines is something you see in successful or healthy households. Was a healthy or a relationship routine at 7 p.m.? For example, did your family eat together every night?
For the most part.
That's routine in your family. Broken households, doesn't happen.
Right.
You see? So healthy people that have seen healthy relationships, consistency is key. Right? They can pick up on toxic behaviors. From what I've learned, you're just a playboy. Or you don't really like me. You don't see a future with me.
Right.
I can't talk to you, you know, between these hours. You know, so all I'm saying to you is I believe that daddy issues stem from the foundation of the parenting, which is if it's a single parent household or there's two parents, a 2-parent household, you can learn more.
Do you think you can fix a girl with daddy issues?
I don't believe I can fix any human.
You don't think that you can kind of channel their craziness or their insecurities and like reprogram them in a way that will put them at ease in life and like learn what a healthy dynamic is with a partner?
Wow. What do you think?
I think you can, yeah. I think you can fill the void that the father never did. I think it's hard, and you know you got to pick and choose your battles because you might choose someone who's too far gone or who has a past that you don't agree with, and you were not willing to redeem it because you might, like, say if you were with a girl who was once a prostitute and now she's come full circle and wants, and you know, and like you fall in love with her because it happens. and
To yourself,
you realize
right?
what
That's
her,
it.
okay.
Okay. My bad.
And you want to
You know the
and,
story
and
well,
you
buddy.
and you realize that there's a very good person underneath it all, and that you can live a happy life with them, and you figure out how to like fill that emotional void that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, but why did they do all this stuff before? Maybe they aren't a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so then you wind up investing in something, and then you don't like the horse you're riding.
But why would you not like the horse if you feel that you can fix the horse?
Because sometimes it doesn't hit you till after the honeymoon phase.
So can you really fix the horse then? You said you can fix someone. Fill
I
the
think
void.
people can change, but
you say
but
you
it, but
can
you
change.
can't you can't erase your past actions. You can't. It's hard to. It's so like you need to be willing to fully accept what a person's previous life choices were, or just choose not to dig deeper and realize it might be darker and crazier than I could ever imagine. But this is who they are now, and I can tell that they're trying to make an effort to be better and live a happy life.
So you feel you can change them and fill the void of the father not being there.
I think you can actually. We're not at an hour and change, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing, we'll wrap it up with this. I believe you can't change anyone. I think people make a decision to change themselves. I do believe introducing someone to God, and God's the only person that can change them. So what do I mean by that?
Well, people call it a higher power, and
You
that's
can call-
how
you can call it-
addicts. That's what guides
no.
addicts in AA. Yeah.
I believe the only way that someone can make the decision, they make a decision to follow someone higher than themselves. Whatever you call it, that's up to you.
A lot of times,
And I believe God can change you.
a lot of times, people, or women, or even men, will place that higher power in their partner.
Well, that's what I was getting at, is that I believe that my job as a man, if whatever your choice, your decision on how you want to lead your relationship, I believe as a man, you should plant the seed of God in your relationship. That's me. Because at the end of the day, men cheat on women, women cheat on men. There's only one person that's higher than us, right? If you think about it. And that's whoever your head is. For me, it's God. So if I at least plant the seed of God, she can now start to cultivate that relationship where she can be convicted when maybe we go through struggles, or she does something wrong, or she goes, backwards because of daddy issues, right? That she can go to a source that's higher than me. Because I'm human, right? So we know we are imperfect creatures. And I believe God's the only person that can change anyone walking the earth. So I leave it in his hands. I used to think how you think, that I can fill a void and change people and all that good stuff. I've learned through failure. It's a losing fight.
I think that's a good place to end.
Beautiful.
We're Not Famous with Sam and Jernavis.
Episode 35.
Episode 35. Thanks for listening.
Make sure you follow, subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah.
This is the month of love. It's Valentine's Day.
Show us some love.
Show us some love. Talk soon.